Something extremely important is happening to XRP, and most people are completely missing it. While price action feels quiet on the surface, behind the scenes, XRP is disappearing from exchanges faster than almost anyone expected. This isn't speculation, this isn't hype, and this isn't a short-term narrative. It's a measurable supply shift that could fundamentally change how XRP trades going forward. And a major driver of this shift is something the market is still underestimating: ETF demand. Let's break this down clearly and calmly, because once you understand the mechanics, the bigger picture starts to make a lot more sense. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiteboard Crypto Update. In today's video, we will talk about XRP. So, be sure to stay focused, as you surely don't want to miss out on this. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. Please remember, this is not a financial advice video. Over the last several weeks, XRP exchange balances have been draining at an accelerated pace. The reason is simple: new ETF products are absorbing XRP directly from the open market. When you look at the numbers, the scale is already impressive. In a very short window of time, these ETFs have accumulated close to 1 billion XRP. That alone represents roughly 1% of the total circulating supply, and we're not talking about a product that's been active for years. This has happened within just a month or two. Now pause for a moment and really think about that. 1% of total supply locked up almost immediately. If this pace continues, and there's no strong reason to believe it won't, it becomes very realistic to imagine ETFs holding several percent of the circulating supply over the next year. 5% is not an extreme assumption, and when that happens, the impact on exchanges becomes impossible to ignore. Exchanges only have two ways to replenish their XRP reserves. Either they buy it themselves, or users send XRP back onto the platform to sell. Right now, neither of those things is happening at scale. Market participants are clearly signaling that they do not believe current price levels reflect XRP's long-term value. Instead of selling, holders are doing the opposite. They are buying from exchanges and immediately withdrawing their XRP into self-custody. This is classic accumulation behavior, and it usually doesn't last forever. The reason it doesn't last forever is because cheap supply eventually runs out. When exchanges no longer have enough XRP available to meet demand, something has to change, and markets only have one real solution for that problem: price discovery. As price moves higher, selling becomes more attractive, and XRP starts flowing back onto exchanges. But until that happens, the imbalance keeps growing. This is where XRP's unique supply structure becomes extremely important. XRP has a fixed maximum supply, and it's also deflationary by design. Small amounts of XRP are permanently destroyed with every transaction. That means total available supply slowly decreases over time. Compare that to many other blockchain networks that continuously inflate their supply through staking rewards or emissions. Over the long term, exchanges are almost guaranteed to hold less XRP than they do today, not more. This is why XRP's token economics stand out so clearly. Years from now, exchanges will likely look back at today's balances and realize how abundant XRP once was. The reality is that shrinking supply combined with increasing institutional demand creates structural pressure. That pressure doesn't disappear, it builds. There's also another factor that doesn't get enough attention: holder psychology. A large portion of the XRP community is not positioned for short-term exits. Many holders don't view $5, $10, or even $20 as a final destination. Instead, those levels are seen as early checkpoints in a much longer adoption curve. Whether you personally agree with that outlook or not, what matters is that this belief directly affects market behavior. When people don't believe a price level represents fair value, they don't sell. That reduces available liquidity even further. In many other crypto communities, price spikes quickly bring supply back onto exchanges. With XRP, that threshold appears to be much higher, and that creates a situation where demand can rise far faster than supply is willing to respond. This is why on-chain data matters so much. You can debate narratives all day long, but you can't fake exchange balances. Blockchain data doesn't care about opinions or headlines. It shows one thing very clearly. XRP is being removed from the market at a record pace. And if there's nothing left to sell, price eventually has to adjust upward. That's not a prediction, it's basic market mechanics. Now, with all of that said, there's another topic that keeps resurfacing and causing unnecessary fear competition. Most recently, attention has shifted to the Canton Network and its partnership with the DTCC to tokenize traditional securities. Almost immediately, the usual reaction followed. Claims that this is somehow a threat to XRP or that it replaces the XRP ledger entirely. This line of thinking completely misunderstands how financial infrastructure is actually built. The Canton Network is focused on privacy-enabled tokenized assets within institutional environments. The XRP ledger, on the other hand, is designed to function as a global liquidity layer, fast, transparent, and optimized for value transfer. These are not the same use cases. In fact, many analysts believe they could work together rather than compete. This pattern isn't new. Anyone who has been in the XRP space long enough has seen countless so-called XRP killers come and go. Each time, fear spikes briefly, and then reality sets in. The truth is, serious institutions are not entering this space with the goal of destroying Ripple or replacing the XRP ledger. That would make no strategic sense. What they understand is something much more practical. No single blockchain will handle every financial transaction in the world. Just like the internet isn't powered by one protocol, the future financial system will rely on multiple networks, each solving different problems. Some will be private, some public, some centralized, some decentralized, and that diversity is a strength, not a weakness. Even Ripple itself acknowledges this reality. That's why it supports and funds external projects. A broader ecosystem increases overall adoption and creates more on-ramps to liquidity. More infrastructure does not dilute XRP's relevance, it enhances it. Think about how major tech companies evolved. Google and Amazon compete in certain areas, yet they also benefit from each other's existence. Their ecosystems overlap, interact, and expand the overall market. Crypto infrastructure will follow the same path. What looks like competition today often becomes collaboration tomorrow. So when you see headlines about new networks, new partnerships, or new tokenization platforms, the correct response isn't fear. It's context. Institutional interest across multiple chains validates the entire blockchain thesis. It confirms that this technology is not a passing experiment. It's becoming foundational. XRP doesn't need to dominate every corner of the market to succeed. Its role as a liquidity bridge alone places it at the center of global value movement. Other networks filling specialized roles only make that system stronger. At the end of the day, the most important takeaway is this supply is tightening, demand is expanding, and infrastructure adoption is accelerating. These are long-term forces. They don't always show up immediately in price, but they always show up eventually. Markets can delay reality, but they can't escape it. And when there's less XRP available than the market wants, the resolution is inevitable. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. What are your thoughts on XRP? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.